Customers who value their credit card rewards program may also see changes in how these programs are structured. Now, if the interchange revenue fee declines, banks might actually reduce the generosity of the rewards programs, increase annual fees on premium cards, or tighten qualification requirements for the most lucrative cards. The long-term equilibrium between the rewards fees and the acceptance will likely shift in ways that affect the credit card holder value propositions. This brings us to the broader litigation landscape. It is important to note that any settlement on the credit card fees and acceptance rules is unlikely to affect separate litigation that large merchants are pursuing against the networks and major credit card issuing banks. In these parallel cases, some of which are scheduled to go on trial next year, big merchants are seeking substantial monetary damages tied to the past interchange fees and acceptance rules. These additional lawsuits could result in billions of dollars in damages if the merchants prevail, representing potential financial exposure beyond the prospective fee reductions contemplated in the class action settlement. The outcome of these cases could further reshape the industry practices and potentially lead to additional reforms in how the credit card fees are structured and disclosed. So, when we are talking about the industry and regulatory implications, the settlement, if approved, would represent a rare instance of market driven reform in the payments industry without direct legislative intervention. While some countries, particularly the European Union and Australia, have implemented regulatory caps on the interchange fees, the United States has largely relied on litigation and market forces to address the merchant concerns about the card fees. The agreement could actually set precedents for how payment networks structure their fee models and acceptance requirements going forward. It may also influence as to how other jurisdictions approach similar issues, providing a case study in negotiated industry reform versus regulatory mandates. For the payments industry, the settlement would necessitate significant operational changes. Networks would need to develop systems to accommodate tiered card acceptance, and merchants would also need to make strategic decisions about which card categories to accept. Point of sale systems might require updates to handle these new acceptance rules, and consumer facing signage would need to clearly communicate which cards are accepted at each location. In wrap up, we can say that the settlement discussions reflect the ongoing evolution of the payments ecosystem as it adapts to changing consumer behavior, technology innovation, and economic pressures. While the proposed agreement represents a compromise between competing interests, its ultimate impact will depend on the implementation details, court approval, and how both the merchants and the networks adapt their strategies and response.